This episode of the Horror Basement is brought to you by ConNooga, Chattanooga, Tennessee's largest multi-fandom convention. Going on between February 24th through the 26th at the Chattanooga Convention Center and historical Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel. For more information, go check them out at ConNooga.com.
The Horror Basement, the Tennessee Horror News Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Johnny Leroy. As always, we got our local horror expert here, the myth, the legend, the horror man, Jim Jam.
What's going on, guys?
I think we got a pretty good podcast for you today. We're going to be talking about ConNooga. You know, ConNooga. It's the 10th anniversary. Ain't that right, Jim Jam?
Yep, 10th anniversary.
So the 10th anniversary, Jim Jam's a little under the weather today.
Yep, unfortunately.
But he is pushing through, guys. He's a trooper. Taking one for the home team. Not really. Not really taking one for the home team, though. No, anyways, but in all honesty, or seriousness, not honesty. I'm being honest with you all the time, so.
Yeah.
In all seriousness. We're going to be talking about ConNooga. It's the 10th anniversary in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So, we hope you enjoy, and as always,
here we go.
No, share and like, subscribe and stuff.
Shit.
A little early, dude.
Oh, sorry.
You know, we're on other formats.
Alright, and like always,
Here we go.
no, like, share, subscribe.
That's what I just said. Hey, away we go. Alright, guys, so today we have with us Chad from ConNooga. The event coordinator, correct? Is that what you say, Chad?
That's right.
So this is the 10th year anniversary of ConNooga. So to be going on a decade, that's pretty awesome, right? I mean,
Oh, fabulous. We're extremely excited about hitting our 10-year anniversary.
yeah, because I mean, to be a part of something that's going on this long, I mean, you got to have the people attending, so it's got to be pretty fun. And so tell us a little bit about. I guess people want to know, what is ConNooga?
ConNooga is a multi-genre fan convention. It's a lot like Dragon Con or Comic Con, except that it's pretty much by the fans, for the fans. Not a lot of corporate involvement. Well, not really any corporate involvement, I guess. So it's very, very fan friendly, and it's got a little bit of everything. Specifically, I run the horror track, and I go to various multi-genre conventions. Dragon Con's one of my other favorites, and nobody else that's not a specific horror con has a dedicated horror track like ConNooga does.
Yeah, that's what I'm over here looking at the website and everything. And the horror aspect of it, is the paranormal aspect of it part of your thing too?
Yes, it's kind of all rolled into one. It's paranormal, haunts, and horror.
Because I guess that is kind of different, the whole paranormal thing for a con. It seems. I mean, the horror I could see, because you got, cosplay with horror themed,
Yeah.
antagonists or whatever you want to call them. But the paranormal thing is what I'm sitting here looking at, like thinking, how's that fit in? Like, which I guess so. People dress up like ghosts, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they're essentially two sides of a coin, I would say. I like to get involvement from various paranormal involved people. For example, Chattanooga Ghost Tours. I've had them as guests on the track ever since I've been running it, and keep asking them back year after year. They keep coming back year after year and talk about true ghost stories. Hope Holloway actually leads a ghost tour around the Chattanooga Choo Choo and points out all of the haunted areas that are at that location. So you're getting a bona fide ghost tour right there at the con. I can't name a single other con anywhere ever that can say that they have that.
Yeah, we actually got to meet them last year at ShutterCon, and they're really nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great
And,
folks.
They were telling us about the house that they lived in and how haunted it is and everything. Which I've never seen a ghost, so I don't know. I don't. You seen ghosts, Chad?
Not exactly. I've seen stuff that maybe I can't quite explain, but yeah, ghosts usually don't. I'm the guy that's not going to get a reaction. I mean, they call me the master of horrors, and part of that is because I don't get scared by the paranormal, and so I think I'm not any fun for ghosts.
Oh yeah,
They can't scare me, so they don't bother me.
Yeah.
maybe that's why I've never been messed with by one. I don't know. I don't know. Like the whole ghost thing. Like, I think the TV shows have ruined me on ghosts. I mean,
Yeah,
because
the TV
everything's
shows
at
are just
nighttime.
awful.
It's bullcrap.
Yeah, a lot of them, I think, they'll say something like you hear something, and then once they say it, you automatically think you're hearing what they say.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I tried watching a couple of those reality ghost hunting shows, and I couldn't stick with them because it was all a bunch of over-exaggerated reactions to stuff that only they could hear. You know, me as an impartial observer, I'm not convinced or impressed by anything that they think that they're hearing. Then they talk about the evidence, and they never really find anything, and we don't really get to go back and evaluate the evidence with them to make a determination. So it seems like they're always playing the field towards the possibility that the ghost could be at this place that they're investigating without ever actually allowing a place to be debunked and say, you know what, we went there, we gave it our best shot, there was just nothing there. Because I guess that wouldn't make a good TV show. But if you, the viewer, feel like, well, there was nothing there for me to see, and they're trying to make it seem like that there was, then it's like, well, why do I want to come back and watch another episode? So I'd much rather do my own ghost hunting.
See, I've never ghost hunted, but I don't understand why people just go at nighttime on them shows. Like, 82% of all hauntings happen during the daytime. You just don't pay attention to it because you're busy or whatever.
It's just what viewers expect. They expect the spooks to come out at night, so...
Yeah, that's just... I don't know. That's why I can never understand
I've seen
that.
they call it the haunting hour or something.
I mean, wouldn't ghosts sleep?
Hour.
Oh, yeah, the witching hour.
When I start talking about ghosts, and it just really irritates me for some reason. Because, I mean, I've never personally seen one or had an experience with one, but if I did, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know. It gets me riled up.
I'll tell you, the best ghost experiences that I've had have been down in Savannah, Georgia. And if you get the chance to go down there and spend a weekend doing some of their ghost tours and stuff, that is so much fun.
But is that at nighttime, or is it
They have different ones, lots of different ones by lots of different companies. Some of them are indoors tours around haunted houses that I guess you can pretty much do anytime during the day. Graveyard, you can go day or night, I believe. So, but a lot of them are at night.
Because, see, I could, like, if something happened during the daytime, I'd be more believable. You know what? I'd believe it a little bit more. But at nighttime, it'd just be like, well, somebody's probably off in the distance doing something.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
I can't see. They have the shadow effect where I can't see them. You know, the lighting or whatever they know. Or the sound that's, you know, just, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. I'm a little biased, though, because, like I said, I've never experienced the paranormal activity, I guess you would call it. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the horror aspect. So you got to be a huge horror fan, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
So
my first love is actually Star Wars, but after that, I'm horror genre big time.
Yeah, I'm a big. I like all the, I guess you could say, comic book character movies. The action and just I don't know, like Captain America and Iron Man and all that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Before it comes to horror, and that's how I am too. Like watching Star Wars from growing up, seeing it for the first time, I was like, hell yeah, love that shit.
Right.
So,
It's like,
go ahead.
I can't even like if you were to ask me my favorite horror movie, I couldn't narrow it down to just one. I've got to break it down into categories, and then I can name off my top few from each category. But then comparing them to choose one, that is my favorite over all of them, and I can't do it, and I can't say that about any other genre. When it comes to sci-fi or even fantasy, it's Star Wars. If it's straight fantasy, it's Chronicles of Narnia. Every genre I've got clear favorites, and I can't narrow it down that easily with horror.
So what? All right. Well, 'cause horror's got a lot of subgenre. What about I guess Possession? What about that one?
Yes, I'm a big fan of all sorts of spirituality in horror, demonic possession, interaction with spirits and that sort of thing. I'm a man of faith. Been a churchgoer for all my life, and so I have a lot of history with reading about the spiritual world, and have been always very curious about that. And so when you apply that to a fictional, or even those that are based on true stories, knowing that there's obviously a fictional element to them to make them cinematic, it just seems to be more plausible to me than, say, like the typical slasher flick, and that makes it more interesting to me. So that's one of my favorite subgenres.
So did you watch the Exorcist on Fox on TV this year?
Oh no, I didn't, but I do have it on DVD.
Really? It's already out on DVD? No. I mean, the TV show.
Oh, no, I did not. I rarely watch TV as it airs. I always wait and binge everything when it comes out on DVD. But no, I missed that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I liked it.
How about the Autopsy of Jane Doe?
That's a movie.
One movie, yeah.
It's pretty new.
Which one? Say that again.
The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Nope. It doesn't sound familiar either.
Yeah, that's a pretty new movie that's come out.
That's
okay.
A pretty wild movie.
I'll have to put that on my list to check out.
So what are we looking forward to in this? I guess the panels are. Did you have panels in the past, like horror panels?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ever since, that was why they brought me on. ConNooga used to have a horror track, and it was back in the early days. It kind of fell off for reasons I don't know about, because that was before I started going. They reached a point where they wanted to revive it, and because Todd, the ConNooga guru, he's a big horror buff himself. He's very involved with stuff regarding horror. So he's got a passion for it. He wanted to bring that back, but of course, him being the Lord and Master of everything ConNooga, he doesn't have the time to organize and run a single track. So he went looking for somebody to revive that. My name came up, and he ended up pulling me into that. So we've had a horror track that I've been running for the past few years, and every year I try to fill it with great horror-related paranormal stuff. And it's always challenging and fun, to come up with new things that I haven't done before, and explore new territory in the panels. And I'm super excited about this year in particular because we really got challenged, with this being the big 10-year anniversary year. Guys, we want you to put your best foot forward, to really give your tracks all you've got. And so I hit it harder than ever. And this is the first year that I got to the end of my preliminary schedule and realized that I had too much stuff to fit it all into a single weekend.
Oh, wow.
And I actually had to, because usually in years past, I've had to come up with things. Okay, well, what am I going to do, in this hour, that hour? I need to come up with things to fill those in. This year I was actually having to trim stuff. And so, of course, the stuff that was a little less exciting. I think it's all exciting, but stuff that was maybe a little less exciting got trimmed off. So I ended up, with the best of the best of all the ideas that I had, and not just me, but all the people who contribute to that. And so I'm really excited. If I weren't running the hard track and it was just there as a participant, I would spend all of my time at the hard track because it's all stuff I want to do. So obviously I've got you guys coming in
No
to do
pressure.
a couple of panels for us. I'm looking forward to those. I've got Mortis coming in. They run a podcast, and I'm actually going to be doing a couple of panels with them as well as them doing their own panels, and we're going to have as a guest at some of those Victoria Price, who is Vincent Price's daughter.
Wow.
I'm super excited to meet her because I'm a
Yeah.
huge Vincent Price fan, love him to death. So we're going to have discussions about Vincent, his life, his legacy, what it was like growing up with him. We're going to have discussions of classic horror versus modern horror with Victoria, who's got that special insight to her father's world of that classic horror. One of our best received panels last year was actually one that author Seth Tucker suggested to me, and so he and I and a couple other people did it. And it was horror and sci-fi, and we didn't even scratch the surface. We went over time, and I had to put my track coordinator cap on and say, okay, you know what, we got to end this and get out of here so we can get the next panel set up. But we had so much to talk about, and it was so much fun for everyone that I'm actually bringing it back this year as two separate panels.
Yeah, there you
One
go.
thing that we intended to get to with that one was H.P. Lovecraft. I love Lovecraft, and we didn't even scratch the surface with him. So I'm having an entire panel dedicated just to Lovecraft, and we're going to have another sci-fi horror panel to go along with that. I'm very excited about those. The big deal though will be the Scream Queen competition. Have you heard of that yet?
I've heard of a Scream Queen competition. Is that where you get people to yell, or?
Well, yes, but it's more than that. And I've been experimenting with it a little bit over the past couple of years, but last year I hit a formula that I thought really worked well, and I'm very excited about. So we're gonna be returning to mostly that again this year. So the screaming is definitely a part of it, but then we actually have the contestants act out a death scene. They can come up with anything they want, as long as they, don't make a bloody mess on the on the stage that we've got to clean up. They can utilize people from the audience, props, whatever they want to do, and create a scene in which they die. And then we also do horror trivia. So you got to know your horror trivia if you're going to compete in this. And we crown the winner, and the person who won last year She was the second-time winner, so I'm hoping that she'll return to defend her crown and that she'll have some good competition this year.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So, like, with this horror genre panels, like, this is going to be our first time even attempting something like this. I mean, and now you just put a lot of pressure. just throwing it out there.
When I told Johnny about we're doing panels, he's like, "What? What?" He started freaking out.
Yeah, well,
when
I
did
mean,
this happen?
yeah, that's exactly. I was like, how did you? Why would you agree to that?
Well, I was like, "Why not?"
Yeah. So now the pressure's on, and hopefully we don't,
Well, from what I've seen other panels like at the San Diego Comic-Con, pretty much we're going to be the mediators, right?
I mean, you just talk.
Yeah, it depends on how you want to run them, but yeah, with the panel of guests that you've got coming in, yeah, I mean, I think your jobs would be pretty easy. Just turn you, because you got some fabulous guests coming, so just turn them loose. Just get the ball rolling, and then let them bat it around.
Yeah, I guess kind of like what we're doing now. Just act like we're doing a live broad podcast, right?
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm wishing we wouldn't have got so many people now. I mean,
it can get chaotic. It depends on how they interact with each other. It can get chaotic with too many people, but I have seen large panels of people do really interesting panels. So if they don't step onto each other too much and they interact well, then it will probably come off quite nicely. And that'll be, part of your job as a moderator is kind of keep everybody on track and make sure they don't go down too many rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But, one of the reasons that they asked me to come lead the horror track to begin with was because in the past I've done several successful fan panels for ConNooga. Most of them have been in some way either horror-based or Star Wars-based, because I had other friends who were already on the ConNooga staff, and so when they needed a Star Wars expert, they'd come tap me a lot of times. And I have a background in radio, and so I pulled on that. Just like you were saying, a podcast with a live audience. It was just it was the same thing. It was like talking on the radio, but I had a room full of people. And it was, especially when you involve the crowd and let them throw out their ideas back to you and respond to what you're talking about, it's really very easy.
I have no clue, especially about the crowd thing. Like, I have no problem talking with people, obviously. I mean, that's just how it goes with doing a podcast and conversation. Right. The crowd aspect of it, I think, is going to be what's a little different. I mean, granted, we've had people sit in on our podcast, and I'll say something to them, off, just talking, so-and-so's here, talking to them, and, but I don't know, the crowd will be new.
The great thing about doing a panel at a place like ConNooga, though, is that you're there with fellow fans.
Yeah,
those people out in the audience, they have passion about this thing just like you do, and so they're there to support and interact, take part, and they love doing that. So
awesome.
I've never had trouble with any hecklers or anything like that. It's all people who share that love and just are chomping at the bit to have a chance to throw out a thought or interact with somebody that has that same appreciation that they do.
Yeah, I guess one of our goals for the independent indie horror is to let people understand that there's locally, they have people just right down the road from them shooting films and making these films. So hopefully they'll get to see that and maybe get in contact with these people and just be able to get a hold of their stuff more. I mean, that's my goal.
Yeah, I would certainly be excited about that, and I am excited about that. I want to hear more about that scene.
Because have you heard of, was it Damn Good Productions or Damn Good Films?
Damn Good Movies.
Damn Good Movies. They're actually out of Chattanooga.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I mean they got short films they're making, and working on all kinds of stuff. So, and if you haven't heard of them, well, this is your opportunity. I mean, this is in your backyard, Chattanooga.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I mean. I think that's what our goal, or my goal, and Tennessee Horror's goal really is to get this out there. I mean, to anybody and everybody.
Oh, and you never know too when you're going to have some obscure talent up there that's going to strike a chord with somebody. A couple of years ago, was it last year or the year before? It was the year before last year. There was a little known director, and he's so little known, and even though I'm a fan, I can't recall his name off the top of my head, but he directed a couple of the Puppet Master movies.
Damn.
He did one of the Pumpkinhead sequels. I think it actually was the second one. But anyway, I knew him well enough to know that I enjoyed his movies, and he was there on a panel, and even running the horror track, I had no idea that he was going to be there. And so just being in there because I had to do my duties as a track director, and they announced him in the movies that he had directed, and I recognized him and knew that I enjoyed his movies. I got excited.
Yeah.
And so, I got the chance to go up and talk to him and tell him, that I appreciated his work and everything, get pictures with him and whatnot. And so it was exciting for me, and he really seemed to appreciate, getting some fan love that I don't think he was quite expecting. Because he did, he wasn't actually a guest of the con. He didn't have a table or anything like that, like some of the bigger names that we have. It was just it was a great unexpected opportunity, and you just never know when those kinds of moments are going to happen when you get these kinds of people together.
Well, speaking of guests, can you name any off like that will be attending?
Well, we don't have too many horror-specific guests, unfortunately, but what we do have Miss Price, like I said, and super excited about her. One of our other big names is Martin Kleba. He was in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in the Left Behind remake, and even though the movie wasn't very good, his performance actually was very good. And he's been in several other things that you'd recognize if I could remember them off the top of my head. And I've met him actually before at another con, and he's a really cool guy, fun to talk to, very down to earth. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him again.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at his movies. You had me Googling. He's been in quite a few movies, though. Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's pretty awesome,
prolific.
actually. I mean, damn. Ted 2, Hancock. Damn, he's been in a lot of movies. Sorry, I'm looking at him.
We've been focusing less on celebrity names.
Yeah.
Than we want more attention on the panels and on fan interaction with each other than pumping all of our budget into getting celebrities, because a lot of times even relatively small name celebrities will cost you an arm and a leg to get them to come out to a con, and that eats through a budget in a hurry. And I'm a person, I love meeting my favorite celebs. I've got a book full of autographs and folders full of pictures. I like the stories that I come away with from meeting them, but that's not all that a con is about. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate ConNooga and the focus on the content rather than simply on talent names.
Yeah, because the celebrity draw, if that's all you have, then you really, that's only temporary. It's not keeping somebody there all day.
Right, yeah, exactly. You go meet your celeb, you're done. Even at Dragon Con with their huge room full of big name celebrities, I'll go spend a couple of hours in there, and then the rest of the weekend I'm hanging out with friends doing con stuff that doesn't involve the celebrities. Most of my panels don't involve them, and certainly I'll get out, to see, this one or that one. But it's just it's fun to have more content than just that.
Hey, there's one of the guests. I don't know if I saw it on there or not, but Sean Rogerson, was he?
Oh yeah, he was there.
Oh, he was. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 2 years ago. All the years run together, kind of in my memory. I remember somebody being there, meeting somebody, but because I've done so many cons over the past few years, I really think hard to remember. Okay, who was there what particular year? But I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, that he was there.
I don't know why I thought I read it. He was gonna be there this year.
Not that I know of off the top of my head. I certainly, I'm sure I would have heard it if he was, because I'd be the one scheduling panels for him, I believe. But unless he was a very late addition and I just hadn't, which does happen sometimes. Sometimes the contracts, do go through late, and and it'll be a kind of a last minute update to get panels put together for him and inserted into the schedule. So it is entirely possible that if he is going to be there, he was just added, and I just haven't gotten the word down yet.
Oh yeah, I probably saw something from last year or some other time, because I was like, oh man, I remember watching him on Grave Encounter. So,
well, his panel was a good one. I'm not familiar, or I wasn't familiar with him or his show before meeting him at the con, and I still really enjoyed his panel. He was just interesting, had good stories to tell, very personable with the guests. So even as a non-fan, I was happy to have him there as a guest.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in attending some of these panels myself. Getting now, talking about them and just getting really, excited and getting out and doing it. That's what.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. In
my opinion, I'm gonna leave Jim Jam at the table though. That we have said, I'm just gonna leave him, and I'm just gonna go sit on a bunch of these panels, and he can man down.
We'll have somebody else there, and we'll have him
be by himself.
Absolutely.
Because I want to go watch you got this Star Wars versus Star Trek debate.
Yeah.
You in that?
Fun. No.
I want to go. I want to see that debate, because it'd just be fun to see people argue over. Is that what it's like? Pretty much like debating on who's better and how.
Oh yeah,
like the universe is better.
Mhm. Yeah, my phaser is better than your lightsaber, and the Enterprise is.
I will say this though, at least Star Trek didn't have the Death Star. That thing could take out worlds. You could weigh that but granted they destroyed the Death Star, but still, I don't know. I think that would be. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah, it's
the nerd in me would really enjoy that.
The one downfall to being a track coordinator is that I don't get to do much else.
Yeah, because you're constantly having to make sure everything's on time.
I've got my duties to attend to and everything, which is not a complaint, because like I said, if I were there just as an attendee, paying for my own badge like everybody else, just there to enjoy the con, I'd be spending the vast majority of my time on the horror track anyway. So that's where I want to be. But so yeah, going to the Star Trek versus Star Wars panel is usually not really an option for me these days, unfortunately. But I know from years past that they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, because you have a horror panel every single hour.
Just about.
Yeah, so you got it filled up.
I know.
Yeah,
it's good.
We talked. Was it Nerd Media?
Yeah, Nerd Fanatic.
Yeah, Nerd Fanatic Media. They're supposed to be. They agreed to set in on our panels and record them for us, but I don't know if they're going to do that for all of them or what.
I haven't been told of them doing them for all of them, but any they want to do them for, I will certainly.
Yeah, we met them at ShutterCon.
Let them.
Yeah, they were going around interviewing people.
Yeah.
And stuff at ShutterCon.
Yeah, we met them last year. We were sitting right next to them. They're pretty cool dudes. We like them. I also want to go see the Marvel versus DC debate.
That'll be fun. I don't know if they've done that one before or
no,
not.
it says that they haven't done it, so.
but yeah, that does sound like it'd be a lot of fun.
Hey, just curious, when will all the information be updated on the website?
Soon. It's hard to say because I don't deal directly with getting the website updated.
Or the app or whatever.
It says February 6th.
Yeah, now the app is updated regularly as new information comes in. So as of right now, theoretically, I haven't checked it, but I'll be doing that this upcoming week. But theoretically, it's completely up to date with all the information that has currently been turned in. So
okay, so it just now. I checked last week and it was just the ConNooga 2016, but now it's available for Android, the newest one.
Yeah. So that's what it says.
We changed over to use a different app because I believe we weren't quite satisfied with the results that we were getting from the last one, and so that's the reason that it took a while to hit for download. Todd and some of the other guys have been really putting a lot of time into getting that populated with all the data, getting it set up, tested, to make sure everything works. And so they've been working really hard on getting that ready. But even with all that work, it still took a while to get a brand new app.
Oh yeah.
Ready to go.
Oh yeah, I imagine it does. So you got the app. People get the app and everything, and they're ready to go to ConNooga. But what's the price?
It's ours.
Let's throw the prices out there for everybody. A day's pass or a weekend's pass.
Oh gosh! Oh, now you're asking me the hard question.
Yeah, see, I'm going to ask you, Chad. I mean, come on, you're the ConNooga
I know,
guy.
right? Let's see. I believe the full pass is $60.
Yeah.
For the weekend, I can't promise that is the exact price at the door. If not, it should be close to that. And then day to day will be less than that. I don't know the exact amount off the top of my head, but it'll be less. But if you're going to do day passes and you want to come for just one day, then definitely make it Saturday. That's when the biggest, best stuff is going on all day. Although Friday night is going to be pretty amazing. And if you can make it for at least 2 days, you don't want to miss Friday night.
So what's the Friday night big one?
That's when Scream Queen is happening, first of all.
Okay. What time is that happening?
That is, we changed it, so it's not the time that I'm remembering. I believe it's at 8.
Okay, 8.
No, it's at 9.
9.
Or is it 10?
Because that'll be one
9
of
or
the.
10. Sorry.
I know for sure. Well, I may try to stay 2 nights down there. So it just depends on how late we out.
That's the big problem with having to make last minute adjustments to the schedule. Is that I remember right off. You asked me, I can tell you right off the top of my head the day and time that it originally was. But the new time, it's like, I got to scratch my head. Okay, when did we move that to? That's why I write everything down, because if I don't, I'm in trouble.
Well, anyway, so Chad, everybody's, at least in this room, is excited, to be a part of ConNooga, especially the 10th anniversary. No pressure on us, being there for the first time, and on the 10th anniversary, the the big 10, the decade of being there, and which I'm excited for it. You know, it's the nerves will get there and they'll go away eventually. But I appreciate y'all allowing us to be there and, you know, and networking with us, and just, I think it's going to be a good time.
I'm always excited to get people involved who have a passion for the genre and see what they bring to the con. And I've made some really good friends just by doing that. I mentioned Seth Tucker earlier. He's written a werewolf novel. He does mostly steampunk stories, but he has written some horror, and so he had a very strong interest in coming and doing a couple panels. And I basically just invited him in on the word of some other people whose opinion I trusted, and we hit it off so well. He added so much to every track that he was on that he's one of my mainstays. I have him back for multiple panels year after year, and you just, you know, you're not going to meet those people unless you're reaching out that hand to get people who share your passion in there with you. Just hang out, get to know them, and talk horror. And that's you know, really what the horror track is all about.
Oh yeah, and we hope that you know, we can be on that level of, you know, bringing people in and you know, being, and maybe if it's not every year, every few years or whatever, you know, you need, we're hoping that we can do that for you as well.
Yeah, now that the app is up on the Play Store, I'll get that link put up on the website, and so everybody can see the schedule for everything.
Excellent. And I'll be adding events to the Horror Tracks Facebook page, and you'll be able to see the panels and their times, and you'll be able to sign yourself up for whatever you're interested in, so that you can get Facebook reminders of when it's happening.
Hell yeah, Jimmy he'll put a link down there for that too.
Yeah.
And it's Facebook. Is it ConNooga?
Well, I guess just send me a link to it in the description, or not description, the messenger, and I'll put that up on the website too.
Yeah, we'll get everything hooked up, so that way one-stop shop, as they would say, so they can people come to our website and figure out everything.
Outstanding.
And
yeah,
Chad, like I said, we appreciate having you on and talking to you, and we hope you know, ConNooga 10 years, it's going to be the biggest one.
Hell yeah.
I believe it will be. And I appreciate you having me on. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in person next month.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
We're looking forward.
Not long, and we'll be there kicking things off, right?
Yep.
You know it.
All right. Well, you have a good night. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Thank you, Chad.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye. All right, guys. So that's Chad from ConNooga. He's a fellow horror guy, which is amazing. And you got to think, with a con bringing out the horror genre, like he was saying, most don't do. So if you're in the local area and you're hearing this, drive down to Chattanooga. Be there at the Hotel Marriott. The Chattanooga Choo-Choo is sold out, but they got 3 or 4 other hotels that will give you the ConNooga rate when you call and ask for it. Not sure how much that is yet. I'm going to book a room. I'm probably going to stay 2 nights, because I'll probably stay the Friday and Saturday, and leave out Sunday morning. But I mean, I imagine it'll be like 10%. I think it's $150 a room. I mean, it's not real bad. I mean, you are in downtown Chattanooga, major city, and even if you don't just do the, you know, ConNooga, the con itself, there's a lot of stuff in Chattanooga if you've never been. Free shuttles. You can go anywhere in downtown for free. Just get on that shuttle and you can go lots of places to eat. But like he said, that horror track, it's going to keep you there.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in going and seeing that, and I'm like getting excited just to go to the panels.
Yeah, just from looking at all the schedules on the app for ConNooga, man, there is a ton of stuff.
Yeah, see, and that's why I'm sitting here thinking I'll probably stay the 2 days And then Sunday maybe get up and go to a little bit, or maybe it just depends on what time, and head out, and get back home. But guys, we hope you enjoyed this, and like with something that we do, it's not just movies, and it's not just actors and directors. We try to change it up, right, Jim Jam?
Yep. Try to keep it.
I mean, a lot of people just do the actors, directors, and talk about movies and whatever. But we try to do a little different stuff, and we try to keep it local every once in a while.
Definitely.
Nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
not at
that,
all.
guys. So if you really, really like this podcast, just give a like there. Just click that button, that little like button right down there. Subscribe, share it with some people. Go to the Facebook page, maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Facebook
Twitter.
group. Twitter.
You can get on Twitter,
Yes.
Snapchat, Instagram. I mean, come on, guys. You can do all kinds of stuff here. Tweet it out, guys. Tweet it out. Bloody hell, tweet it out. Jim Jam's still sick, guys.
Yep.
If you listen this long, give him a get well soon card. Send it to him on his Twitter.
All right, guys.
Like, share, subscribe, guys. Here's your comment. Hit us up. We're on everything. Google Play.
iTunes, Stitcher Radio.
Yeah, everything. That's fine.